This is why I bring the pages with
Yeah,
me.
me too.
You know, there are some I remember, but I'm not gonna. This one is called The Writing of My Life. People were talking about things that sounded like love before. This is as close as I can get to it, so, at least from here. I planned for everything, and you knew me. You knew I had scripted everything out accordingly. You knew I was a writer. You knew I was a poet, and you even knew I was starting a novel. Did you even know that I used your mother's maiden name as the last name for the Scottish lab technician in the novel? Well, as I was saying, I've worked out everything over the years, and I've figured out how to take care of myself, and I've figured out how to get ahead of the game, and you know, I did pretty well. I had scripted my life out. I was an open book. But I was careful. I know that at the beginning of the page, some things made my pen swirl, and I started to write on an angle, and sometimes I'd curl around the page or write upside down. But as I figured out how I wanted my life to be, I was quite meticulous in my writing, and the page was actually looking quite graceful. And I've still got room left on that page and more writing for more living. But I think so far it's looked pretty good. I figured out how I wanted the page to look, and I did just the right things with the writing on that page. And, well, the writing of my life was looking pretty good. And after meeting you, you were a nice addition to the writing of my life, and you saw me play at my last Chicago concert, and, well, you enriched my life. And even though sometimes you'd piss me off, you were vibrant, and you helped make that page look better. And then you had to go and die. And I don't even want to talk about you not caring about yourself enough. I know you worked out, but Scottish or not, you were diabetic, and you should have checked your blood sugar levels more, and you shouldn't have drank so much. I know you wanted to work out the writing of your life, but you must have known that you couldn't cram all that living into your body. You should have known that. But, you know, you weren't a writer, and I know you never probably even looked at the writing of your life, or if you even relied on what you painted to show how you felt. But you knew I was a writer, and you knew how I watched over everything in my life. You knew I was the one in charge. You knew I had a plan for everything. You knew I worked my ass off, and you knew I succeeded at everything I did. You knew. You knew, and you had to go off and die and mess up my whole page. Because right at that point, my goddamn pen started scribbling all over the place, and it made a mess out of that part of my life. Yeah. You know I cried for days for you. Who am I kidding? I cried for months, and years later I still cried for you, and yeah, no one wanted anything ever to happen to you, but sometimes, you know, like the stages of recovery, anger is one of them, blame is one of them, and right now all I can do is be angry at you for dying. Because I haven't gone through all the recovery stages yet, but I have to blame someone for making me feel this way. Don't I?